Hello, hello, beautiful divine beings. Happy day, happy day. It's your girl Susan. I hope you're doing amazing today. Today's gonna be so freaking packed and amazing. I'm excited because this one is a topic that, oh my, I definitely relate to it so much that I feel like I just need to share this part of my story. But this, if you've ever caught yourself having a paycheck but completely losing yourself, feeling empty, even though you're racking it in, right? You're hustling. If you've ever felt like that, know that you are not the only one that has felt like that. Today in this live, I'm actually going to be sharing with you guys why I walked out from feeling burnt out and why I chose embodied entrepreneurship. I'm also going to talk to you guys about how busy became like basically a barrier to the life that I truly desired, and I'm going to talk to you guys about how alignment created more abundance um, than hustle can ever create. So if you're watching live, let me know you're watching live. Um, of course, if you're watching the replay, say hi, hashtag replay. I love and appreciate you for taking time out of your day to come on here and share this time with me. Hey, Nicole. So, let me tell you, I I had a wake up call that I want to say it. I didn't start my entrepreneur journey because I was like, you know what, I'm already doing something amazing, and but I see the picture, the vision of what entrepreneurship is. Like I wasn't there. I was when I was still working the traditional 9 to 5. I was really stressed out and depressed and disconnected at home. It looked like I was successful. I had a managing position. It looked like I was doing all the things. I was clocking in. I was checking the, collecting the checks and just staying busy. But inside my home, there was just an emotional connection that was gone. The trust that we had was stained. The love that we had, it felt distant, and I was just missing the most sacred moments with my children. And so, in the spurts of being in this dysfunctional relationship, I ended up walking out of this 9 to 5, and it ended up doing me such a huge favor. I realized that I couldn't be the mother and the wife and the woman that I wanted to be while trying to survive the pressure of the traditional 9 to 5. There's more to life than any 9 to 5. Yes, yes, Nicole. And the stress and the anxiety just from home would follow me. It's like I know when I used to do the 9 to 5, I was like, you go to work and you whatever problems you have at home, you like clock those, like you leave those behind before you clock in. And so I had that mindset, and it was very stressful. It was very stressful until I literally just couldn't function anymore. So I walked away, and not just from a job, but from the version of me that was barely surviving. I chose to build a business from home later on when I realized that the things that I desire in life cannot work around a 9 to 5. Once I became a stay-at-home mom, I realized that there's so much freedom in being in control of your time and the flexibility that comes from you being in control of your time and not somebody telling you that you need to be here at this job at this time and this time, and you can plan your family time and your personal time and your rest time around that schedule. Like I couldn't wrap it around my mind to think like I'm gonna let somebody else tell me what to do, especially when I was when I had just came back from being in boot camp with the Marines and seeing that there are literally people who are 20, 23 years old yelling at women that are 28, 29 years old, and they're spitting in their face, and it's just like it's so humiliating. And just to think that it doesn't just play out in being in the military, it plays out throughout the whole corporate America, and the way it's just organized. So back to what I was saying, Nicole, like you said, own your time. You are in control of your time. That was the biggest thing I wanted to put out with that. So I wanted to overall be presently emotional, like be present and emotionally and physically there for my children, regardless of whatever I at the moment, because I was not where I was am now in my vision, where I am in the knowing of where I'm going. Back then, I just knew that I wanted to do something that allowed me to stay home, be with my kids, and be able to create something that was outside of being a mother and a wife. And so I really wanted more connections. I was really tired of just checking out the boxes and still feeling empty, because I knew that there had to be more, more connection, more joy, more wholeness, and I wanted to be happy and feel like a fulfilled woman, not just be a good wife and a mother. Because let me tell you, I was grateful from when I was working to when I became a full, a stay-at-home mom. But after being a stay-at-home mom and being there and realizing there's more to me than just being a good wife and a good mother. Like there's more to me than just cooking and cleaning and the laundry and whatever house need like things that need to be done around the house. Like there's more to who I am. And so in choosing alignment over hustle, I found a new kind of abundance, one that is rooted with purpose and peace and presence. And so I want to talk to you about how busy can become a barrier in your life, in the life that you desire. So I used to think that being busy meant like I was doing it right. I was doing something right, and if I was exhausted, that meant I did enough for the day if I was exhausted. And if I wasn't working hard or checking off the boxes and showing up for everybody else, that had to mean that I was succeeding. And the truth is that busy just it felt it was a mask. It was a way to avoid the deeper truth that I was overwhelmed, I was disconnected, and I was deeply unfulfilled because I felt deeply unworthy and undeserving of everything that I desired. So I kept it busy. I was so busy trying to hold on to everything, hold on to everything together, that I didn't realize just how much was actually missing. I was missing the quiet moments with my kids, the intimacy in my marriage, and just the connection with myself. So if you find yourself busy and your schedule is filled and you still feel that your soul is empty, know that you are not alone. You're not the only one that has struggled or is dealing with experiencing these feelings. And so being busy became the barrier in my life to what I really desired, which, like I said, was presence and peace and purpose and joy. And so the constant doing left like literally no space for being, no room to actually feel and connect and to grow. And I realized I wasn't even building a life. I was just surviving in one. And when I knew something had to change, I knew it wasn't that I needed to put in more hours. I knew I didn't it wasn't that I needed to go back to work or I needed to go back to school and I needed to go do something external to fix what was in me. It was about becoming aligned with myself, being more intentional and being more of an embodiment of who I was desiring to be. So real abundance doesn't come from hustle. It comes from honoring your values, your rhythm, and your truth. And now I want to talk about alignment and how alignment, like I said, creates more abundance than flow and hustle and I mean flow from hustle and grinding can ever give to you. Like I said, for a long time I believed that you have to work hard to earn it. You have to hustle and grind every bit, because that's the only way for you to succeed. And I would work harder and I'd push more, and I wore that exhaustion like it was a badge of honor. And because that's what I thought it meant to be worthy and to be successful and to provide. We get really caught up in defining our worth based off of how much we can give and how much we can provide to others, when worthiness comes from a knowing of who you are. But no matter how much I did, it never felt like enough. I was burnt out, I was breaking down, I was barely breathing. I had a lot of rage moments, being angry all the time because I couldn't deal with myself. But then I allowed myself to surrender and to let go. And this takes a lot of willingness and openness to connect to oneness, but I learned to let go. And I stopped chasing and I started aligning, and I began building my business in a way that honored my values and my family and my feminine rhythm, right? Both energies, but me, I being that I was very heavy in the masculine energy when I started learning about energetics and universal laws, that I am so passionate now about being in my feminine rhythm and my feminine flow. So I started saying no to things that started draining me and started saying yes to things that started lighting me up. And I created a space for joy and rest and presence, and not from that space that something unexpected is going to happen, but abundance begins to flow. It's not just an income, but an energy and creativity and peace of mind and in purpose. Clients come easier, opportunities align, and your message becomes magnetic. Because when you're in alignment, let me tell you, when you're in alignment, you don't have to force anything. You don't have to force anything to work. And they respond to your energy. I realize that hustle might get you results, but alignment brings rewards, and the kind that lasts and the kind that feels good. Alignment became the foundation of the life and business that I actually love, not just to survive. And so I just want to encourage you that wherever you are in your life, if you find yourself feeling overwhelmed, burnt out, if you feel like you've resonated, and I'd love your insights and feedback on what you think about, you know, busy being a barrier in your life. And if you find yourself, what are ways that you keep yourself busy that still leave you in a space of feeling emptiness? If you find yourself your whole schedule being filled up, and at the end of the day you feel drained, we have growth. There's growth there. There's a lot of awarenesses there. It's not right or wrong, but if you desire to, hey Sarah, but if you desire to live a life that you really want to live and experience during the time that you're here on this earth, I would take the time to ask yourself the questions. Where do you want to be? Do you want to continue doing the things that you are currently doing in your life? Or is there, a dream of traveling more, or once upon a time ago, I didn't homeschool my kids. I had the desire to fully homeschool them and want to homeschool them and want to be present. Now, it wasn't just a matter of just doing it because you can. It was a matter of desire of, I am choosing to break out of the traditional, I go my way to work and you guys go your way to school, and we'll just come together at the end of the day for a couple of hours, or we'll eat and then break off, make sure after homework and all that we break off, do the showers, and then TV and then tablets or whatever it is, but screen time will take the time that we would spend together. And so we weren't really together. And so the actual desire of wanting to be present and go all in and be intentional about spending time with our kids, it was something that I had the desire to, but my emotions, like they say, Were you a bedroom kid or a living room kid? Because I was a bedroom kid, and to want to be a living room parent, right, and have living room children, it messes with you. You get overstimulated. And so to think like I'm gonna be a homeschool mom, right? I'm gonna be a stay at home mom. I'm gonna do this. I had to work through a lot of emotional barriers within myself, but always going back to the why. The why do I want this? Why do I desire this? Because of the freedom, because of the flexibility, because of the emotional development that is being done throughout the years that are very important to kids, because they go from babies to toddlers to children to teens and then adults the whole way through. Like, we only get a smidge of time with our children before they become adults. And to me, that meant the world to me, to think like I need to figure out something now, do something now, because I don't want to be the person to wait 20 years or whatever when all my kids are out, to be like, okay, now I'm gonna do something, and I raised them to believe that I couldn't do anything because they were holding me down or anything like that. Like, no, we cautiously work through ourselves, and that is how we stay empowered and in this state of alignment and embodiment with ourselves. So if this resonated with you, if this is calling you, and you feel like you need the support and you want the support, just know that you're not alone. You don't have to do this alone, your journey alone. You need help seeking out your truth, being in alignment with what you want in your life. And if you feel called to see what we are doing here, drop me a heart if this resonates with you, and DM me if you're ready to explore embodied entrepreneurship, because this space is different. This space is like, and there's nothing out there that is like this. And we currently just finished getting another incentivized trip. Guys, there's so much abundance everywhere. You just got to be open to receiving it. So lots of love. Thank you so much for watching. If this resonated with you or somebody came to mind, share it with them, tag them on here. And that's all. Lots of love and gratitude, guys. Take care. Bye. And bye.